describe the sound of Swansea?
Seagulls and cars and people yelling.
How would you describe Swansea to someone that's never been?
I'd say the old people are really hard. they're really leery. They're more like the scary. They're not like they're like scary teenagers.
Can you give me an example of local dialect?
Living a dream, living a dream.
And what's something you hear in Swansea that no one else would recognise if they were not from here?
Oh,
It's a really hard one.
that is a hard one. What other answers have we had? Can I ask?
Literally the first time everyone else was like, oh, we've already done it.
Oh, okay. So, what's the question again? Sorry.
What is something you hear in Swansea that no one else would recognise if they were not from around here?
Just going on my holidays. Well, I found out holidays means holiday. Yeah, you're on your holidays, are you? That's okay.
Should we go on quizzes? Oh.
Seagulls or something. Yeah, okay.
Describe the sound of Swansea. Brilliant.
Sorry. Can you start again? Just keep going.
Okay. I'd say seagulls. A lot of traffic.
That's such a
Yeah, I'd say a busy wine street on a Wednesday, Friday or Saturday night.
Lots of
And then the kebab afterwards. Chicoland specifically. Yeah. The roar of the crowd. The pour of the pint.
Can you give me an example of local dialect?
You're local, are you? You're more local than me.
Oh my god, I have no idea. I've never really been anywhere else to know the difference. Yeah.
I think obviously because we're at uni as well, we don't really hear much like local dialects. We hear a bit of everything. Yeah.
What's the first thing you hear when you step outside in Swansea? I feel like this answer is so long, but
Cars, I'd say.
Yeah, cars, buses,
Oh my god, that
students.
duster. What's that duster called? It goes past on the street.
The street cleaning thing. It's always around. Yeah.
If you had to describe Swansea's voice, what would it sound like?
I think very deep.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit like grating. A little bit annoying.
Like doesn't shut up.
Okay, take one, please. Can you describe the sound of Swansea? Incredible. How would you describe Swansea to someone that has never been?
City by the sea.
Beautiful. What is your favourite sound within the Swansea area?
When I leave Swansea area and go to Gower and it's still and there's no sounds.
Can you give me an example of a local dialect?
All right, Mosh, how's it going? All right, whose coat's that jacket then?
Incredible. What's the first thing you hear when you step outside in Swansea? What is something you hear in Swansea that no one else would recognise if they were not from around here?
Oh, this is difficult.
It's really hard.
Oh, there are certain characters in Swansea. If you come across any, yeah? But no, I'm thinking of a sound. That one's difficult. You're going to have to leave it with me. Let me sit on it.
Yes, I think
that's a bit vocal, but you know.
amazing. Thank you so much.
Jen's that one. I can't remember them. Well, she's done. I have got a bit of a cough one, so don't come too close to me. You both have been ill, so now you're like the immune people.
Right. Can you describe the sound of Swansea?
Oh, it's really difficult actually, isn't it? I don't know, the sound of Swansea. It's quite eclectic, I think. There's lots of, depending where you are in Swansea, I think there's lots of different Swanseas, I'm going to say. So there's town Swansea, where we've got a lot of traffic. You kind of hear a lot of people. There's not that many dogs or animals or anything, I don't think. Quite a lot of shouting. Quite a lot of messy folk, I have to say. And then you've got quiet Swansea. So when I go home, I go to the park. The park is nice and quiet, but there's quite a lot of dogs in the park, I'm going to say. So you've got to time it so that you go before or after the dogs to have nice quiet time in the park. And then the sea, and if you get close enough to the sea takes over the sound of everything, and that's magical.
How would you describe Swansea to someone that has never been?
I would describe it as lots of different Swanseas. So the Gower, the coastline, the art are the richest parts. There's good community, I think, in Swansea, but there's lots of different types of communities. I mean, so how you tap into it, how would I describe it? Well, it's near the sea. It's a coastal city. A coastal city, which means that it was kind of built on its industry. It also brought in lots of people, so there's lots of different cultures living here, which is exciting and fruitful in foods and in, you know, things that you can buy, things that you can experience. Yeah.
Can you give me an example of a local dialect?
Mush. Yeah. Ta-ra, I say quite a lot, and then people look at me as if to say, what? Yeah. Ta-ra, but that's a nice one, ta-ra. It's goodbye, by the way. And, there's loads, and now my brain goes a bit empty when you try to think of them, doesn't it? I don't know, I'm stuck on that, I might have to come back to that one, sorry.
What is something you hear in Swansea that no one else would recognise if they were not from around here?
I suppose it is the dialect, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The kind of how people talk, the tone, not the tone, but their dialect, their language. There's not a lot of Welsh speakers in Swansea, which is interesting, as somebody who's interviewing me is very Welsh. But that is an observation. So when you go, you know, to catch the bus or to get a taxi, then everybody speaks English. So that's kind of not here. Whereas as soon as you step outside of Swansea, then it becomes, and it's really interesting. I watched a piece of work in 180 Studios in London a couple of years ago, and a couple of months ago, and Jeremy Deller interviews a load of students in London, and they're all kind of mixed cultures, they're from all over the world really, and talk about London, but then they talk about Wales or the Midlands or something like that, and everybody says, oh no, I wouldn't go there, I wouldn't feel comfortable there, because London is this multicultural hub, whereas anywhere else is different. So I think big cities tend to manage lots of different peoples, whereas Wales